Hi guys, this is Ollie. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all have been safe this whole time. If you forgot, if you're new to this channel, here I'm trying to talk to you guys about Korea, to share my experiences, my thoughts, try to tell you something interesting about my life in here. I hope you guys enjoy it, and if you enjoy it, please subscribe and like. Okay, very typical question, but what do you think about first when you hear Korea? Probably lots of K-pop fans all over the world will say like BTS or Blackpink, etc., etc. But actually these days Korea is emerging in a number of various fields. There are such terms right now like K-beauty and K-food and K-drama, whatnot. There's lots and lots more to this. And in the future, I will try to cover each of the topics separately. So please stay tuned. So today, I thought, why not do something different from other YouTube channels about Korea? So today I decided to talk about Korean sports, KSports. At first, I thought like taking KSports as a team in general, but then I looked up all the stars and it turns out just too many. Well, you have the world-known queen of figure skating, Kimyuna. And there's the golf empress, Park se and probably some of you may know a very famous baseball player in Korean baseball league, Major League. His name is Park Chang-ho. So it was really hard to handle all the famous sports stars in Korea at once. So I decided just to divide them by the type of sports. So today, I'm going to talk about soccer. Since I'm a huge soccer fan myself, I just couldn't help myself. So we're going to start with soccer stars today. What I want to talk about this today is one specific player, and well, he probably is one of the hottest players in the world right now. Among many of his nicknames are such as Supersonic or Super Sensation, and his name is Sonheungmin. So Sonheungmin was born in Korea in 1992, and he first debuted in Germany in 2010. He is currently playing for Tottenham Hotspurs in England, and this man has actually single-handedly raised his team's stock prices by making 4 goals in 1 game. Sonheungmin is an indispensable member of Korean national team. He is the team symbol in a way. I think the goals that he scored against Germany in 2018 World Cup are still remembered by many soccer fans, not only in Korea. Koreans are huge soccer fans, huge. In older days, whenever there was a game on TV, the streets were literally empty because everybody was at home watching. Well, nowadays, of course, this is less likely to happen since everyone watches TV on their smartphones. Anyway, Korean national team has a nickname. It's called Asian Tiger or the Tiger of Asia. Korean national team first debuted in World Cup in 1954, and since then it has a record of qualifying for 9 consecutive times, for 9 consecutive finals in the World Cup. The best result so far is a 4th place in the World Cup of 2002 in Korea and Japan. And also, I want to say that Korea is the only Asian team to have ever reached semifinals in the World Cup. This is pretty huge. When this happened, the streets here in Seoul were just bloody red. Everything was covered in red. People were in the streets cheering, celebrating. It was such a tremendous scene. So I talked about Sonheungmin, but it was actually 30 years earlier than Sonheungmin that Korean players started to perform overseas. The first Korean player to play overseas was chabumkun, or he's better known as Taboom in Germany. From 1978 to 1989, he scored a total of 98 goals while playing for the German soccer league. And that was a record. He scored most goals by like among other foreign players at the time. His nickname was Brown Bomber. And actually, chaboomkun was a symbol of Korean soccer as well. He was from a small East Asian country that is difficult to find on the world map, and yet he played a tremendous role in soccer-developed countries. He was true inspiration for Koreans during a pretty hard time. The number of Korean players overseas, the players that entered the European League, it started with just one player in 1978 and now has gotten to the point that it's really practically impossible to list them all one by one. And there are countries, not just in Europe, it's United States, it's Brazil, Russia, Czech Republic, all over Europe, Spain, Portugal. It's really one word for this. I have only one word for this. It's tremendous success for Korean soccer. Right after a 2002 World Cup, many Korean team players, Korean national team players, and other Korean players had finally gotten a chance to perform overseas. One of the most representative names is Parkjisung. You probably all know him. Not this guy. He debuted in Netherlands, but he spent the biggest part of his career playing for Manchester United, and he, of course, is a legend. In addition, there are such names as An Jong-hwan and Lee Young-pyo, Seol Ki-hyun, Park Ju-young, Lee Chong-young, and Ki Song-young that are active overseas in various big leagues. You can recognize some faces from the pictures, right? And there are more players to watch out for. Do you know who won the 2018 Under-20 World Cup? Korea? Unfortunately not. The championship was Ukraine, but the runner-up was Korea. And it was actually the first time the Korean team has ever gotten to the finals. Please remember the name of leekangin. He was one of the star players of the Korean team in this championship, and he has actually gotten a Golden Ball, the MVP award that normally goes for the winning team. And this is one of the rarest occasions when the runner-up team player won the Golden Ball. So please look up for him. He has been pretty famous since he was just a baby at around 7 years old. So let's just say he's a naturally born star. So, today we have looked at some of the soccer players from Korea. How was it? Tell me if it was interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. There are much more faces than you have thought, right? So, if you see any of those players in the future, please remember that they're from Korea and give them a lot of support. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. You can also ask questions, request videos. If you want to know something about Korea, I can tell you about it. I can show you some places if you want to see something. I know it's a very difficult time right now. We cannot really travel, so if I can help you in some way to learn more about Korea, I would gladly do it. So please subscribe, thumbs up, and leave me your comments. And I'll see you next time. 안녕!